Hello there and welcome to GeekCorner's Dragon Ball Super topic. Now in this video I'm going to go over some details about the composition of the Universe Team 7 fighting style and their experience overall throughout their history. Now I'm talking about their fighting experience and what they are capable of, and also what kind of feats or perks they have naturally, or what kind of incredible feats they have accomplished throughout the journey of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, I will not count Dragon Ball GT because Dragon Ball GT is not canon and it doesn't even affect the story of Super. So yeah. Anyhow, let's go over with our 10 fighter roster from Universe 7. The first fighter I will go over is actually, I will go through the lowest to the highest. So from my personal view, I think that Master Roshi or Kame Senryu is Kame Sein Sensei is actually the lowest of the strongest, but in experience he has the highest, because remember, not only is he over 300 years old, since he drank the fountain of youth, and also he eats some herbs that makes him feel like younger, or 1000 years vitality. He also have fought many stronger fighters than him. He fought against Daimao Piccolo 2 times. He actually was nearly successful to seal Daimao Piccolo into the rice cooker with the Mafuba. And that's also something you need to know. Even though Master Roshi is like over 300 years old, he was able to keep up and fighting against a younger Goku with all of his strength, and he still won against Goku. Now that's incredible, because remember, Goku in a young age was really powerful. He was much weaker than he was much weaker then, but the thing is that Master Roshi shows many times that he's able to keep up with Tenshinhan, he's able to defeat Goku and Krillin, and he has a lot of experience and technique. So in perks, you can say that Master Roshi is very insightful. He knows how to analyze and how to view things in a certain way. But in technique, you can say that, well, he has the Mafuba, which is one of the most powerful technique. He can actually seal anyone, because just like in Future Trunks arc, Trunks was able to seal Zamasu in the battle. Now they did not specify in the tournament now if the tournament allowing sealing technique, because right now the only sealing technique we know are 2. The one used on Majin Buu by Bibidi or Babidi, and the Mafuba. Those only are the 2 known from right now sealing technique, and that's really underrated, because you can win the match just like that. So yeah, that's one thing. The other thing is the Kamehameha, and he has been fighting much bigger opponents on much bigger scale. I mean, he was able to fight against Frieza Trooper in the Resurrection F arc, and only that is kind of impressive, since the Frieza soldier has like the same power level as Raditz or something like that, because yeah, they were low tier soldier, but the thing was that Daimao Piccolo had like 300 or something like that. So yeah, and now Roshi was able to actually combat several of low tier fighters from the Frieza army. So I don't think that Master Roshi is that weak. He's weak when it comes to raw power, but when it comes to experience and cunning and insightfulness, he is a really reliable sorceress. Now he also has, like I said, the Mafuba, and the Mafuba is really powerful. in many cases. Now let's go over to the next fighter. In my opinion, is Krillin. Now Krillin is he's been stronger. He have learned now to actually get his motivation, his balls back, and not only has he some great technique. I mean, he has I don't know what the technique is called, but it's that technique he used against the Cyberman when he's like fire up all his ki and then let it rain down. That technique is really good against, because it has the area of effect, and he can actually damage several fighters in the same time. Now the reason I say like that is because we don't know if the Tournament of Power will have team battles like 2-on-2, 3-on-3 or something like that, or 1-against-1. Because if it is like, let's say, let us speculate that maybe Krillin will fight together with 17 and 18, and they will fight against 3 others at the same time. Now Krillin could have the technique falling down against those 3 fighters, and yeah, it's a really powerful technique because it will combine with others' opportunity to fight. Also, he has a destruction disc, but he have never successfully hit someone with it. I mean, sure, he hit Cell on the neck, but the thing is, Cell was perfect in that time, so it did not even affect him so much. So yeah, either that, Krillin is not such a powerful fighter, because when you think about, sure, Krillin is agile, he's fast, he's a fast thinker, he's able to use what he have to survive. In a way, Krillin is a survivor because he has always fought against much terrifying opponents like Frieza, and yeah, he tried to fight Cell, but he was nearly killed by that. Yeah, Krillin has guts, but he doesn't have really luck with matching up with even opponents. You know, he always fighting with opponents so strong that he cannot even measure them. The next fighter, in my opinion, that is from the lowest to highest from the Universe 7 is actually Tien Shinhan. Now, the reason I say Tien Shinhan, because many other would argue that the androids are weaker than Tien Shinhan. No, because Tien Shinhan has a limit. That's his weakness. The androids, on the other hand, they never get tired. They are technically android, and the ki supply have unlimited. They have regular energy that can use repeatedly. They never get tired in that way. So, but still, Tien Shinhan is very strong. I mean, he was able to stall semi-perfect Cell with his Shin Kikoho, and he was able to at least distract Buhan in the Buu arc. But the thing is that he never won except for the last time Tien Shinhan won was in the Dragon Ball arc and in the Saiyan arc in Dragon Ball Z against the Cyberman. But the thing was that many others was able to fight and win against Cyberman, except for Yamcha. But yeah, so, and if you're thinking about his technique and his perks, Tien Shinhan is the most versatile fighter in regarding of technique, because not only does he have the Dodonpa, Kamehameha, Shinkikoha, he has also the ability to outgrow arms from his back, and using them he's able to split his body into 4 different entities. And I can assure you that he has many other tricks that he has trained and learned until after meeting with Beerus and the being witness of the revival of Frieza. So I can imagine that Tien Shinhan is a fighter, and he's always been training to fight, and that's why he's always been seen in the Battle of God and Restoration F. So I don't think that Tien Shinhan is weak. No. I really think that in regard of technique and versatility, he's the most adaptable fighter, at least from Goku. And he was, after all, Goku's first rival in terms of competition and power. So yeah. Well, then you have, after Ten Shinhan, you have the androids 17 and 18. Now, those two have similar fighting style, or well, technically they don't have any fighting style. They have more like instinct, combatant, brawling technique, and like they go full in, and when they hit hard to break your arms or something like that. And I mean, 17 was strong enough to actually compete and be evenly matched against a Kami fused Piccolo. And even though he was weaker than the first, first form Cell. So yeah, and 7 and 18 has shown the ability to actually learn other technique like the destruction disc, and she's a capable fighter because she was able to seduce and fight down 2 Super Saiyan, 1 Goten and 1 Trunks in the tournament before Majin Buu was actually released, yeah, in that arc. So, but the thing is, we don't know nothing about 17. Yeah, 17, because we have not seen him after the Cell arc, and in the Buu arc we saw him once in that cameo when he put up the shotgun against 2 hunters, and they were like, okay, we put up our hand and give our energy to Goku. So when you're thinking about that, then you must realize that those two, 18 and 17, the biggest perks they have is they have fought together. They are a team in Furanal. They are a fighting duo. So I think that they surely have and can some combo together, just like in the Future Trunks history, where 17 and 18 fought against Future Gohan, and they actually kill him. So that's not an easy task. And now we have in the intro that 17 has released some kind of, I don't know, his own version of Final Flash, because he does like that fighting. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see what kind of opponent they will fight, or even if they were fighting in team battles, because I think that the androids will have a bigger chance fighting together against like a duo, because originally they were a duo. They were fighting together. Yeah. Well, after the android we have Gohan. Now, Gohan is clearly beginning to be stronger. He has a lot of fighting experience. The only problem I see is that Gohan is not his father. Gohan is not Goku in terms of raw instinct. It's like he doesn't go for the fun or the excitement of fighting on a stronger opponent, because he is too emotional. But that's also his biggest strength as well as his biggest weakness. What I mean by that, I mean that he relies too much on other, and to overcome this weakness, Gohan needs a lot to actually grow up more in sense of as a fighter, because he is a great person. He is a scholar, a father, but now he must become a true fighter to actually combat and win now, because the whole universe is at stake, and you cannot afford with mistake in this stage of the tournament right now. So yeah, and even if Gohan is capable of achieving his Mystic or Ultimate Gohan form, I have really hard time to see, depending on the situation, what kind of fighter, because it's like this. We don't know what kind of fighters there will be in this tournament, but since we have seen Lavender and Basil and Bergamo, we can assume that every fighter in this tournament will have some kind of ability or perks that will affect the fight in some ways or another. Take, for example, in Universe 6 tournament, where Botamo, the Winnie the Pooh character, had the ability to absorb and send away energy attacks to other space in the galaxy. And if you're thinking like that, imagine other character having something similar, or even like, oh, a character that can teleport himself, like Quick or Nightcrawler or something like that. Yeah, it can be something so small, something so unpredictable, but it can affect the fight really hard. I mean, look at Lavender's poison ability. Even though he just spew out poison gas, it can still affect the fight very much. And even though Gohan is very adaptable as well, because he has very good keen senses, because I never seen character fighting blind in that level. I mean, he literally react in the moment he sense with his hair. I mean, oh my god, if his hair is that sensitive, I do not want to know how much it hurt when he cut his hair, you know. Yeah, so all joke aside, Gohan is a promising fighter. He has a lot of potential, but he's always had since the Super Saiyan 2. So the only thing we can do right now is actually wait and see what kind of new heights he can achieve. If he will be returned to his original Ultimate Gohan form, or even stronger than that. We don't know, we can only wait and see. Next up is Majin Buu. Or no, wait, I forgot. After Gohan, I must take Piccolo, of course. Now Piccolo, he is the smartest, and like Frost told him, he's the strategy. He always plan ahead, he always plan before fighting, he always plan how to fight and how to best take the course to achieve victory. He's a planner and a tacticianer. And also Piccolo is really strong in terms of potential ability, because not only is his special beam cannon strong enough to pierce a barrier made by an angel, but also he's really good enough to actually stall and charge up his special beam cannon long enough to actually frighten off Frost. I mean, to be honest, if that special beam cannon would have hit Frost in that tournament, Piccolo would have won really easily, actually. And his plan was nearly flawless. The only thing that he did not expect was that Frost had that poison needle in his forearm, you know. So yeah, Piccolo is really underrated because, yeah, he's Piccolo. He can fight. He's able. He has. I mean, in my eyes, Piccolo is like Tenshinhan, but much stronger. But in a way similar, in a way that he has many different abilities, many different perks. He can regenerate himself. I mean, he can. If he lost a limb, he can grow it back. If he has the Mafuba. I mean, if you think about this, you have in the Universe 7 team, you have four character with sealing technique. You have Roshi, you have Piccolo, Tenshinhan, and now Goku. All of those four characters can Mafuba right now. That's really overpowered in my opinion. So yeah. No, but the thing is, Piccolo is strong. And I want to see what more kind of technique and strategy Piccolo has for the future fights. Well, then you have the Majin Buu. What can you say? He's fucking Majin Buu. He has magic. He can generate himself. He has the ability to learn other technique just by watching it once. And if you're saying that's bullshit, well, he technically did that against Goku, and Kid Buu actually learned the instant transmission by Supreme Kai. So yeah, that's really OP that the Majin Buu is able to learn so many techniques. And if you think like this, Majin Buu has the ability to turn anyone to anything. Candy, chocolate, a toilet, and any other things. And the thing is that's also really important to think that if the rules state that anything goes except for killing, well, it will affect many fighters like Hit and Majin Buu and if sealing is not allowed and anything like that. So yeah, in the tournament the rules will affect a lot more than you think. Well, then you have Vegeta and Goku. What can I say about them? They still evolving, they still being stronger, and I mean their fighting style are kind of similar, but the difference is that Vegeta is more of a versatile long distance fighter. He never goes directly close combat, he always tests out his opponent before. Goku is reverse. Goku actually goes in and tests for himself how strong his opponent is in close combat, and then he adapts himself for better countermeasure his opponent's strength. And that's really interesting because they're literally the opposite of each other, and I think that's the theme of the whole thing, that they are rival and they're really similar, but they are reverse of themselves. I mean, Goku is laughable idiot, Vegeta is a serious but a good-hearted person. Good-hearted, good person, but yeah. Anyway, this has been my 2 cents about the composition and the personalities of the fighters. Now, there are many more information. I mean, the experience is all from... If you have seen Dragon Ball, seen all of Dragon Ball Z, and seen the all episode of Dragon Ball Super, and actually remember things, then you know that the Universe 7 team is actually very strong. And I need to repeat myself. 4 of the 10 fighters from Universe 7 can the Mafuba. The Mafuba is really underrated and really overpowered ability in my eyes, because if you can seal up someone, you instantly win because they cannot do anything. So yeah. Anyway, that has been my little video. I can do a little more information. I'm going to try to summarize the fighter from Universe 6. If there will be more information about other fighters, I will do an quick analyze about them and go through some quick history. Now, one character I really want to do an analyze is actually Broly, because his fighting style can be similar to the new female Broly if she is the same type of fighter. We don't know if she will be like a brutish fighter or a tank, just like Broly was in his movies or in the video games. But if they're going to do something different, then we need to wait and see what kind of fighting style and fighting tactics she used actually. So yeah, but this has been GeekCorner. I hope you have a good time. See you later.